We see 3 kids heading towards an abandoned house, which is known as Ghost Train. Among them is a bully named Peter, and it turns out that he has forcefully brought the other kids, Michael and Sam, along with him. When they reach the place, they are terrified to see its state. A giant Grim Reaper looms above the house, and several decapitated heads are seen hanging from the ceiling. The youngest kid, Sam, wants to run to the beach, but Peter doesn't let him go. After a while, they spot a skull on the wall, which is revealed to be the ticket machine. A sign next to it says, £1 per ride, please. Without wasting any time, Peter asks the boys to bring out whatever money they have. Sam is still hesitant about the whole idea, but he has no choice but to forfeit his 50p coin. The hell else is he gonna do with it anyway? Once the collection is finally done, Michael nervously approaches the skull and starts feeding it with the coins. Suddenly, the ground shakes, and cockroaches begin to come out of cracks. The giant Grim Reaper also moves, ready to cause havoc. But a few seconds later, it stops, and everything comes to a halt. This enrages the bully Peter so much that he approaches the skull and starts bashing it with a stick. The other boys shout at him to stop, fearing that they will face some deadly backlash, but Peter does not listen. Eventually, he breaks the skull, and as soon as he does so, the door opens. The next second, poor Sam is hauled inside the house in a wagon, and before the boys can do something about it, the door closes. This is the last time he was ever seen. Now Peter and Michael have to explain to dates why they're afraid of wagons for the rest of their lives. 30 years later, Michael and Peter go to the same abandoned house to pay their respects. It turns out they come here every year to grieve the loss of their dear friend. Michael seems to have become a wealthy businessman, but Peter is a mere cab driver whose life has been derailed by alcoholism. As Michael lays on the flowers, Peter reveals that he still has nightmares about that day. He also blames himself for dragging poor Sam to the abandoned house, when all he wanted was to go to the beach. However, Michael says that it wasn't his fault. In a shocking turn of events, it is revealed that Michael didn't actually put the last coin inside the skull, and that is why the Grim Reaper stopped midway. He was too scared to do it, something which he regrets to this day. The revelation shocks Peter, but he decides to forgive his friend, and just like the last time, he orders him to put the coin inside the skull to check what happens. Michael, who also wants to know the truth, obliges without thinking much. As soon as the coin is entered, the ground begins to shake and the Grim Reaper rises. Then, the door opens, and from it emerges the same wagon from 30 years ago. As the two friends watch in horror, a ghastly white boy comes out of the wagon. He is none other than Sam, the boy who everyone thought was dead. In a state of shock and utter disbelief, Michael approaches his childhood friend and tries to initiate a conversation. Unfortunately, this turns out to be a bad idea, as the freak boy is not the same Sam anymore. He has come only for one reason: revenge. In the blink of an eye, he snaps Michael's neck and renders him unconscious, or probably dead though. After this, he goes after his childhood bully, Peter, and brutally finishes him off, splattering blood all over the car's windshield in the process. At last, a paralyzed Michael, who is lying on the floor, thinks to himself, what if we went to the beach instead?